Hi David, I'm Brandon. I'm the guy that has been texting you and told you I'd make this video for you to show you how I can bring you lots more customers and just really help you grow your business. Just to tell you a little bit about who I am real quick before I get into it. I moved down to Phoenix about 3 years ago. I live in Surprise. My wife and I moved down here from Colorado, and now we've got a baby girl. She's almost a year old now, but I moved down here because I was a soccer player. I signed with Arizona United and I played for them a little bit. And now I'm 31. I'm kind of retired, and this is what I do full time. I help small business owners really just grow their business exponentially. And I'm going to show you how and why it works and kind of how I do it and why it's just massively important for somebody like you. Okay, so I'm going to kind of get straight into it here. As you already know, 90% of people go to Google when they need a local product or service. Google's obviously the most popular search engine in the world, super powerful. Everybody knows what Google is, and that's what everybody uses today. 96% of those people that go to Google never leave the first page. They click somewhere on the first page and find what they're looking for. So it's just massively, massively important to be at the top of page one. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a few things. I'm going to tell you about on-page and off-page SEO. So SEO is search engine optimization, if you weren't already familiar with that term. So the first thing I'm going to talk to you about is content. Okay, so let's say I go to Google and I type in elephants. All right, the first page that comes up here is Wikipedia's page on elephants. Okay, why does this page come up first? The reason why is because one, Wikipedia is a super trustworthy source in Google's eyes. But two, they've got like 50,000 plus words all about elephants. So if I'm searching on the web, Google sees that this is the most authoritative, relevant source of information to put in front of my eyeballs if I'm looking for information on elephants. Everything I could ever want to know, different species, the anatomy and physiology, all the different body parts, how they sleep, what they eat, what they like to do on their birthday, everything you could ever want to know is right here on this page, right? So the same thing goes for a small local business, right? Google wants to put the most relevant, the most authoritative, the business that shows by their website that they're the authority in the area for whatever someone's searching for, whether that's window tinting, window washing, a tow truck, computer repair, anything, or in your case, custom gates or RV gates, side entry gates, whatever those different terms are that people might search for, right? So I'm going to kind of show you here, like Phoenix gates, I found is kind of the most common term that people search. And usually it is sort of, people search for what they need in the city most of the time. So it's like window tinting Surprise or, tow truck in Mesa, AZ. There's different little variations of it that obviously different people search for, but Phoenix gates is the most common term that people search for when they're looking to have a gate built. They might search obviously gate builder or gate contractors, fencing contractors, iron gates, wood gates, just all kinds of stuff. But this is the most profitable term for you, right? So right here I can see that there's 170 searches for this every month. And these aren't always super accurate. Sometimes it's a lot more than that. So right here we've got the local maps. And these guys, Sunset Gates, that's your top competitor. I'm going to show you a little more about them in a minute. But they are ranking above the map even, okay? And it's just because they have a few powerful backlinks, which is another thing that I'll get into here in a minute. But so as far as on-page SEO goes, the content, how you write, you want to have 1,500 to 2,000 words on your homepage. It's got to be unique, authoritative. Google likes synonyms, so different things related to what your service is and what your page is all about. They just want to see that you know what you're talking about, and that you've got just lots and lots of information for people. So content is really, really important. Another thing is having all those different keywords, right? We want to have all the different keyword phrases that people might search for. So not only do we want Phoenix gates in there, just kind of naturally flowing throughout the writing, but we also want, gate builders in Phoenix AZ. Just stuff like that. Hopefully that is pretty simple and makes some sense. But this is what's called the local map pack. Okay, I'm sure you've seen this before. It's got business A, B, and C in there, right? Now, on-page SEO is like content and keywords, things that I can actually do on the page. When it comes to off-page, what I want to talk to you about there's a lot of different, Google's got like 200 different factors that go into their algorithm for determining how something ranks, but two of the most important ones are citations and backlinks. So what a citation is having your name, address, and phone number listed in a different place on the web, in a different directory, okay? The more places you're in, the better, and the more consistent those are, the better. So if 100% of those are written the exact same way everywhere you go, you're going to rank really well. Now, if you mess up on that, if you've got a digit off on your phone number on one of them, or your business name is typed a little different, or your address is off by just a little bit, then Google's going to penalize those sites, okay? But those citations really just affect this local map pack and how you rank in there, okay? But what's really important are what we call backlinks. So a backlink is a link to your site from a different site on the web. It's basically a different website that has a link to yours and is pointing to your site. So if I click on that, it takes me to your site, right? So in Google's eyes, that's really important because it's basically like a vote from somewhere else saying, hey, these guys, Ironwood, Gates, and Welding, they deserve to be on top because they've got there's a bunch of different people pointing to them saying that they're the authority on gates and welding and whatever else is related to your service, right? So now the more powerful that site is that is linking to your site, the more that link juice is going to kind of flow through and bump yours up the ranking. So you want to have backlinks from really strong, authoritative, trustworthy sources in Google's eyes, okay? And that right there is what separates me from anybody else, from all these SEO companies out there and stuff like that. I'm independent, I work for myself, but I've got kind of a slew of domains that are super powerful, that are really trustworthy in Google's eyes, and I put backlinks from those sites to your site, so it really bumps you up quickly. Now it takes some work to do that stuff, and then to kind of constantly work and find those backlinks, but that's what my skill set is, and it's really valuable to somebody like you, because if there's 100 people searching every month, there's more than that, but let's just, for easy numbers, if there's 100 people searching to have a gate built in Phoenix every month, the majority of them are coming right here to the top of Google and picking somebody out, okay? Almost nobody is going all the way down and going to page 2 and then finding you guys, which is where you're at, right? If I go to page 2 here, there's you, Ironwood, Gates, and Welding. But you want to be on page 1. You want to be at the top of page 1, and that's something I can do for you. Okay, now I'm going to show you here. This is your site, right? Ironwood, Gates, and Welding. This is the amount of traffic that you get monthly. You get about 20 visitors to your site. If you were to pay for that, it would cost you about $70. Okay, so this is just the amount of people that do somehow, either maybe they know of you directly and they go to your site, or somehow they do go to page 2 and check you guys out, or they type something specific that you have that is ranking you higher on page 1, and that's why they end up seeing you. Okay, now I'm going to show you Sunset Gates, which is your top competitor. Like I showed you, they're right here. And if we type a bunch of, like, RV Gates Phoenix, right? Those guys are right here too. If we type like, let's try custom gates, or custom gate builders Phoenix. Let's just give that one a try. There they are too. They're at the top there, right? So these guys, Sunset Gates, right here I can see 503 visitors every month to go to their site. So, and if they wanted to pay for that traffic cost, it would cost them $1,300. But 500 visitors, right? That's what, 5? That's 25 times what you're getting, right? You could 25x your business just by being at the top of Google. That's just massive value to your company, right? So 500 visitors, I can guarantee you when it comes to people looking for gates in Phoenix, these guys are getting the majority of the business just because they're right there. It's crazy that this is something so simple. It's just people don't know how to do it. Obviously, it takes a special skill set, and kind of that's what I have. Um, but I know how to build you a site and get you ranked to the top of Google. I'll show you an example of one I have. So let's say, for example, you're broken down in Scottsdale, your car breaks down on the 101 and you need a tow truck, right? You might type something like Scottsdale tow truck. That's me right there, Scottsdale Tow Truck Company, and right there, #1, same thing. So I've got a guy that I built this for, and he went from being a guy on Craigslist with no website that gets maybe 1 or 2 calls every couple days to now he's getting sometimes up to 15 calls a day. He got 130 calls in the month of December. But usually it's about 5, 6, 7 calls every day, sometimes 8, 9, 10, 11, you know. But the guy's just super, I mean, it's completely changed his business, right? So just to show you the site here real quick, it's nice and clean. It's got a good look to it. And as you can see, just tons and tons of information all about the different sort of things related to towing, you know, and that's what Google likes. So the good news about all this, right, is that your competitors, let me see if I can get back here to, yeah. So your competitors here, like Sunset Gates, Action Gate AZ, Custom Fencing Gates, these guys are all doing the same thing that you are. They're out there working, they're building gates, but they're not having somebody that's constantly working on their website and constantly doing the SEO to push them to the top and then keep them glued there, you know, so that they get all the customers that are searching for it. So what I do is just it's a huge advantage to you in that you've got someone who's constantly just doing what it takes to keep your business, to get your business to the top and then keep you glued there so that you're just blasting out all the competition. And that's what I do. I research these guys. I find out just all the ins and outs of what they've done, and then I just beat the crap out of them, you know, so that we beat them. And hopefully this makes sense. Let's just take a quick look at your site, right? And obviously your site's not bad. I've seen a lot of sites that are just terrible, and yours isn't bad. That's why you're on page 2. But if you're on page 2, it's like being on page 20. You know, there's really no difference. And I'm going to show you why here real quick with this chart. So this is your search result position. Okay, so 1 to 10. Number 10 is the bottom of page 1. This is the percentage of traffic that goes to each position. So if you're #1, you get 33% of the market. Number 2 gets like 18%. Number 3 is down at like 11%. And then it just steadily goes down from there to where if you're at the bottom of page 1, you're getting like 2 to 3% maybe. But then it just drops right here, page 2, where you get basically nothing. Okay, and see right here is about where you're at. For most terms that I searched, I found you like 13 to 16. And that's probably where you're getting your 20 visitors a month or so. But there's hundreds of searches every month for people looking to have a custom fence built or a gate or whatever that you guys do. So there's just tons of opportunity there for you to capture those guys. And if you're interested, if this kind of makes sense to you, I'd love to work with you. You know, I'm a good guy. I'm an honest guy, and I try to find good, honest business owners. And I'd like to sit down with you and kind of go a little further if this makes sense, and we can see how we can help grow your business. You know, my goals are to really just help the small guys that are good people, but they just don't know what it takes to get in front of all the customers that are looking for what they need. I want to take you there so that it helps your family, helps your life, you know, and you can reach those goals that you maybe set for your business a long time ago. Anyway, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I'll get it emailed to you, and I'll put my contact info below. But again, thanks for your time. I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you later.